Hello everyone and welcome to this first video I'm recording. I will try to give you some vocabulary about um, an important topic. When we travel to a new or different city, it is important to know how to ask for directions, how to ask for certain things. But it is also very important to recognize the things around the city, the things, the places, whatever we need in order to go to a city. Uh, when we are in the city, whatever city for this matter, we can find different things. Let's look at the vocabulary. There is the ATM or automatic teller machine. Remember, if you ever need money, you can go to an ATM or automatic teller machine and use your credit card or debit card and you can get money from them. Okay? Very important. Some other important places, the bed and breakfast and the brochure leaflet. Well, the bed and breakfast is kind of a hotel, but it's very simple. It's usually a house that is owned by some people, and these people, what they do is that they have rooms available for people who would like to stay there only for one, maybe 2 nights or 3 nights even. And the name bed and breakfast comes from the idea that a person may stay there only for one night. This person will spend the night, and of course, next morning he or she would have breakfast. So, it's a very cheap place, and you can find them almost everywhere in the world. In Mexico, we also have bed and breakfast places. The brochure leaflet is basically a way of giving information for different purposes. In the case of traveling, you can find brochures or leaflets that give information about the place you want to visit. This information covers important places, important things to do, the addresses or the directions on how to go here or there. Brochures or leaflets are very common. Okay, currency. Currency is very important. Currency refers to money. What kind of currency are you going to need to work with if you travel outside the country? In Mexico, we have the pesos. In the United States, we have dollars. If you go to Guatemala, they have the quetzales. I think you have the yen in China and Japan or something like that. Wherever you go, there's a different currency and there is an exchange rate. You need to be careful about it because, well, as you know, an American dollar, it's like almost 20 pesos here. Kind of expensive. Facilities. Well, these are all the services or all the special things a place has. For example, if you go to a hotel, maybe the hotel has free Wi-Fi connectivity. Almost every single hotel nowadays have free Wi-Fi. CCTV or closed-circuit TV. That's the security cameras. We have security guards, lift available, maybe a special kind of lift service for big cargo. The reception, cab or taxi service, laundry service, cafe and restaurants. These are the services a hotel or an inn or a place has available. We also have the flyers. A flyer is a very common thing. In Spanish, we call them volantes. But these are very similar to the brochures and the leaflets. What is the main difference? A brochure or leaflet may be found in certain places like the travel agencies, but a flyer is usually given hand to hand by people on the streets. This is a very common way of making promotions or advertising in places, services, the like. Hostel. A hostel is a kind of accommodation. It's different from a hotel because it doesn't have as many facilities as a regular hotel. It's not even close to a motel. A motel is very similar to a hotel, but a hostel is usually cheaper. It is usually smaller. It doesn't have that many facilities. And the other thing about the hostel is that most of the times you have to share a room with 1, 2, 3, up to 4 people. And well, it depends on you. If you don't want to spend that much money, maybe you can stay in a hostel. But if you're like a little bit special, maybe you want to stay in a nice hotel, it's up to you. And another important thing to take into account when you go to a city, well, we have the inn. An inn is a very old or very common place in which you can stay. It's another kind of accommodation. It's similar to a hostel, similar to a hotel, but this is a different thing. An inn, or posada as we call it in Spanish, it's usually family run. That means that it's a big house that is owned by a family. And this family offers the services of the inn, which is a room, bathroom, and maybe kind of restaurant service. It's a very, very old concept, and it is still persists nowadays. We still have inns here in Mexico. Well, insert coin, that's something you will find in most automatic machines or multi-vending machines. For example, you have to insert coin if you want to get a soda, maybe chips or snacks. What else? Okay, landmarks. Well, landmarks are very important. For example, a landmark is a special characteristic or feature, of a place. Something that makes that place recognizable. For example, Cañón del Sumidero is a natural landmark and represents Chiapas, or makes you think about Chiapas. Or, for example, the Latin American Tower, La Torre Latinoamericana, that's also a landmark. It is building, it is man-made, but the moment you look at the Latin American Tower, you instantly think about Mexico, well, specifically Mexico City. But yeah, that's what a landmark is. Okay, a special feature can be natural or man-made that represents a place, a country, state, a city. Left luggage lockers, well, you can find this in most places, specifically airports and some bus stations. A left luggage locker is, well, a locker in which you can leave your luggage. Okay, it doesn't have to be that big, especially for people who carry very small suitcases. What else do we have? Okay, the left luggage office. Well, that's another important place. Maybe there are no lockers. Maybe there is an office and they provide you with a space. This one is a little bit better in my opinion, because if you're carrying like a lot of luggage, a big suitcase, well, maybe you can leave it there and they give you like a ticket or something like that. Money exchange. Well, money exchange happens when you travel to another country in which the currency, as we saw first, is different. For example, if you're crossing from Mexico to Guatemala, you exchange the money, pesos, from pesos to quetzales, and it's the same anywhere. And we have the newsstand. Well, that's a very common thing in every city. You can find newspapers, magazines, and some other things there. The public restroom, that's another important thing. Maybe you are walking around the city and you need to go to the bathroom. So there are public restrooms in which you can go. Some of them are better than others. And finally, we have the taxi stand. The taxi stand is a very important thing, because if you like to walk around the city, that's okay. But maybe you don't want to, or maybe the place you're going to, it's a little bit too far from where you are. So you may need some quicker or faster transportation. So maybe if you find a taxi stand, you can take a taxi, and it's no problem. Nowadays, taxis are, the price of a taxi is getting higher. It's really, really expensive. So a lot of people prefer to use Uber or another app, whatever it fits your desires. Tourist Information Center, well, that's another important place. It's specifically designed for tourists. Imagine you're traveling to a city you have never been to, and you need some information regarding the places you can visit, the best accommodation options, or maybe where to eat, where to have a drink. Everything is there. Okay. Well, it's 9 minutes and a half already. I need to go. Thanks a lot, and I will see you later.